Good afternoon and welcome in. It may be afternoon, maybe morning, maybe night, whenever you're watching this. Hello to each of you and welcome to a live interview with our District 8 candidate, Mr. Jonathan Hatten. How are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
All is well. All is well. Really excited about what's about to take place in Birmingham, Alabama, and especially in District 8.
Absolutely.
So, I know that a lot of people already know who you are, but then there are others who may not. There are some who may know you in one capacity and not know you in another. So introduce yourself. Tell us a little bit about your connection to District 8.
Okay. Well, I am Jonathan Hatten. I'm running for District 8, Birmingham City Council. I am Victoria Hatton's husband. I'm Jace Hatton's father. I'm Frida and John Hatton's son. And I'm the proud pastor of the Mount Moriah Missionary Baptist Church of North Pratt. I serve as in that capacity. I'm also an instructor at Ramsey High School, where I teach AP Government and Politics, Psychology, and History. I'm a District 8. I am 8, right? Okay. I am Ensley. I've been living here since 2008, and I went to school. I graduated from '96 from Ensley High School. Went to Miles, went on Alabama State, went on to UWA. So I am Birmingham because I am Ensley.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds that way. So we'll get more into all of those all the different hats that Hatten wears. Those are a lot of different spaces that people have seen you serve in. But now you're looking at serving in District 8 as the city councilor, the representative of District 8. Just like you said, I know a lot about District 8. I grew up in the area as well. And actually, where we're conducting this interview is right in the heart of the district.
Right.
What are some of the neighborhoods that you will be representing?
So 12 neighborhoods in this area.
Okay.
You have College Hills, you have Bush Hills, you have Bellevue, Fairview, you have West Princeton, Tuxedo Heights, you have Ensley, you have Central Park. And so that's just a few of the major ones that are right here in this city. So with the 12 neighborhoods, we form one collective, being District 8.
Okay.
And we represent the west side, which is always the best side.
For sure. The fact that you were about to name all of them, I'm like, now if he does this, you got to vote automatically. Because you think about one district, just one area. When people say Ensley, they mean that it's just all Ensley. But you know that there are different needs in different spaces.
Absolutely.
What made you decide to put your name in the hat? I'm putting Hatten in the hat to be the representative for District 8.
Well, a lot of prayer consideration, a lot of consultation with friends, family, and local business partners. Okay. Actually, where I get my haircut at is one of the prominent businesses in the city. Mm-hmm. And just having some ongoing dialogues. But the thrust, or should I say the thing that broke the straw in the camel's back, was a very good dear friend of mine who happened to be my youth pastor,
okay,
Ladarius Hilliard. We had some conversations, and unfortunately he left me. Mm-hmm. Well, they got me to thinking, grieving that process. And so about 4 months after that death, a young man was killed on my block. Mm. And my wife and my neighbors, they were outside doing their gardening thing. And so just having those conversations and having that drive, I said, you know what? I don't want to talk about it no more. I want to be about it. So okay, I put my name out there, some fillers, and here I am, ready to announce next week.
So, like a riveting story. Ladarius Hilliard has come up so many times recently, and I guess anytime an election comes up in Birmingham, you hear Hilliard, but when you hear Ladarius Hilliard, somebody near and dear to both of us, you just think about young people taking a lead in local politics, right, and really getting involved in what's happening. Then you said you losing someone on your street in District 8. Like, okay, so something has to be done. What is it that you think that's been happening in District 8 that either needs fine tuning or hasn't been happening? Like, I guess what hasn't been happening and what needs fine tuning?
Well, we look at our district, we look at what's going on. We see some development, mm-hmm, but it's slow and steady.
Okay.
And so the District 8 community deserves to have finished products.
Okay.
One of the things that's plaguing us is crime.
Mm-hmm.
Crime in District 8 and 9 are the highest. Be it that's one of the biggest communities that we have in the city.
Yeah.
And so when you look at the numbers and you say, okay, we have a crime problem, and then you break that down and disaggregate that data, and you say, well, the crime is really here and here, it pushes you to want to see some change.
Mm-hmm.
It's hard to attract businesses. It's hard to attract businesses to a community that's plagued with crime. And so the first thing we need to do is address that, address the crime problem. We have to also address the cleaning problem. Our district needs cleanup,
Okay.
and it's bad in a bad way. And so one of the things I want to do as part of my fresh perspectives is I want to help clean that up.
Okay.
And I think that the community is ready to do something different. And so forming a collective where we can clean and canvas and communicate all at the same time, build some community pride, build some community engagement,
Mm-hmm.
and allow the people to become true stakeholders and a part of this political process. Look, when you hire me on August 26th, you're hiring a person to work for you.
Okay.
So I work for you. I'm your trustee. I'm your gatekeeper. But most importantly, I'm your voice. I don't think that District 8 residents' voice has been heard.
I hear you loud and clear. So all of this time, and I know there have been eras in this district where we had people that we knew, people that we grew up with, went to school with, went to church with, and somewhere along the lines that connection was lost. You know, like people would come in and it's like, well, never knew you, never heard of you, hadn't worshiped with you, hadn't learned with nothing. Like here you are in our district though. Do you really understand the needs of the area? And that's really important when it comes to getting somebody to represent you. Do you really understand me and my needs? So I'm happy to hear you saying that. But when you talk about the unfinished products, what are some examples of that?
Sure. So right now, Crossplex is unfinished.
Okay.
That development was promised a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Still no brick and mortar. And so a family fun center with the size that is slated to come, that the council and the mayor put forth before the people, that could really transform this district.
Okay.
You're talking about jobs, economic development. You're talking about a place for the kids to go, which gets them out of the streets into a safe space.
Okay.
And so that's one of the things that is undone.
Okay.
That's a big thing. And then on the other side of us in downtown Ensley, there's some other things that have been talked about, but nothing has happened with this particular building.
Okay.
And so the people in District 8, or the people on the west side, especially District 8, deserve to have finished products. So we're starting in downtown, we're starting in uptown, we're starting in south side. Nothing is starting in District 8. And so thanks to Eric Guster, who brought a very lovely facility where you can bring in businesses. You have an eye facility there. You have the Applebee's, which is, to my knowledge, in my research, one of the top sales Applebee's in the entire state. And so we have a very nice crossplex development. You have a hotel, you have a Poppin' J Wings, you got a Starbucks, but we need more.
Yeah.
I remember when we used to shop right here in 5 Points West.
I remember too.
It was a Parisians. Do you remember the
I
Parisians?
remember
It was a
upstairs and
Parisians
downstairs in it.
inside of the 5 Points shopping area. There was some attractions. There was a fair. Like one of the first roller coasters I rode was right down the street from me. And so I envision reinvigorating those elements to District 8.
Okay.
Yep.
And like I said, the people are so deserving of that.
Yes.
When you talk about building pride, that comes with what's, like give me something to be proud of, right? Like give me something to protect. And people say, well, they don't deserve it. I don't have it. I don't know what that looks like to take care of something that I don't have. So I can appreciate putting the people and the ideas first and finishing the projects. I appreciate that. On a deeper level, when it comes to connecting with people, I know you said that you pastor a church.
Right.
And that is one of the places in any community where people come and where people, where they build a relationship, where they nurture spirit. I mean, everything happens in a church space. So how would you translate that type of leadership into community leadership?
Very interesting question. I'm thank you for bringing that up. Well, first of all, what I've learned in my 10 years of ministry is the best leaders listen.
Okay. I agree with that.
You only can go so far in leadership without good leadership under you. You have to
Mm.
be able to train and develop people under you. But having a listening ear to the people, because they're the ones who are putting you in the place where you can lead.
Okay.
You can't lead without people.
True.
And if no one's following you, you're not a leader. And so the very first thing you have to do is you have to get an ear to the people's mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Second thing is, I think leaders are born
Okay.
and not made. Anyone can serve in capacity of leadership, but God, I feel, makes leaders. And so when you are someone like myself who sits back, sees problems, sees issues, I'm already thinking of solutions.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we need
Mm-hmm.
in District 8. We need someone that's going to listen to the people, who can relate to the people, but then who can go find solutions for the people.
Okay, so definitely a solution focused leader. Like, we know enough of what the problems are.
Yeah.
We talk enough about what the problems are, but we actually need somebody to get in there and fix the problems. I know that you're going to be having some conversations going on where people can talk to you and ask you more questions.
Absolutely.
And this is just kind of a surface scratching interview. But going to the political piece of it,
yeah.
What does that look like being on a panel of other elected officials that are representatives of their districts, and then a mayor who's the top representative of the city? What does that look like for you?
Well, I know how to work with teams.
Okay.
Teamwork is always first and foremost when you talk about anything dealing with government. You have to be able to build coalitions. You have to be able to compromise.
Okay.
I do that. Um, you also have to have voice to be able to influence others to see the big picture.
Mm.
I can do that. And so the things that we need from a county and city perspective is we need unity inside of the government leadership. We need maybe not to say the same thing, but we need to see the same thing so that we can do the same thing about it. And that's going to be critical in this upcoming election, because for 6, 7, 8 years, we had a council that only gave pushback really to one really budget.
Mm.
And so when the people elect you, you got to make sure that their needs are being heard inside of the budget, because the budget is the intentionality of funding of taxpayer dollars to come back into the neighborhood. So you got to be able to hold to the fire what the people sent you there to do.
Okay.
And the very first thing you have to do is everybody on that council needs to look at the needs of their community and make sure they're in the budget.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So that explains the role and the job. Like,
Absolutely.
we control this budget. I know a lot of people don't really have the full understanding of what the job of a city council is. So thank you for saying that. It's to assist the mayor with the budgeting for their area. I need to make sure my people look good in my district. Okay. So the election is
August 26,
August
2025.
26. Okay. We need people to vote. I know that in any election that we have, it's a big problem getting people out to vote. So talk directly to your people. Encourage them, first of all, to vote, but then secondly, to vote for you.
Absolutely.
In August.
Okay. Well, we know we have voter apathy, and I get it. You're tired of seeing people come up with promises. I promise you I won't do that. What I will offer you is a fresh face for a fresh start. Delve into my website, Hatten4 8.com, where I would deliver these fresh perspectives. Number one, I'll provide you with canvassing, cleanup, and communication. I'll be transparent and not just honest. Transparency is giving you the information before you ask me. And I will make sure that through my weekly podcast, you get to hear me directly speak to you from mouth to ear what the issues are and what are the things that I plan to do to fix it. The second thing is I also plan to offer a collective for the business community, a District 8 nonprofit where we can come together and solve some of my own problems, some of the blight and some of the things that we have going on in our district. We can secure funding and do those things for ourselves. Thirdly, as a fresh perspective, I plan to invest into mental health, because mental health in our community is so needed. It is vital. It's the very reason why a lot of this is going on. A lot of our people are in survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, you're not logical and you're not reasonable. And making sure we have people that can pull up to you and heal you right on the spot. Putting money into those businesses and investing in that type of infrastructure is key to reducing our overall crime problem. And fourthly, as the last fresh perspective, not only do I want to help clean up, but we're going to do quarterly cleanups in our district. We're not just going to do it one time and that be done,
Mm.
because you can't clean up your house one time and that happens. We're going to have quarterly neighborhood cleanups. These are things that you can touch and see, and at the end of 4 years, you can say, did he do what he said he was going to do? And those are the things that I want to offer you as a fresh start for a fresh face, and a fresh face and a fresh start for District 8. August 26th, vote me, Jonathan L. Hatten, as your next city council representative.
They got my vote. So get out, vote, think about the issues that were addressed. The mental health piece really spoke to me because that's a big part of what I do. And then you said vital. That means so much to me personally, because things that are vital are important. They're essential. And I think that it is vital that you all vote. Use your voice, use your vote, use your power to put somebody in a seat to make a difference in the Ensley area on the west side, which is the best side. Got Lady Wu sitting there with Jonathan L. Hatten, who is running for District 8. Make your vote. Make your vote. Bubble it in. Jonathan L. Hatten.
Hey, I love you, BM. And don't forget, we're going to win.